In the recent days and in the near future, random white people will continue to suffer and have been suffering from this horrible disease that comes in like the plague and decimates their lives. This random disease is constantly affecting them, and it is making it difficult for them to live in their world peacefully. This tragic disease spreads like wildfire amongst random racist white people. There is something you can do to help these poor, insignificant, random white people suffering from this disease. Dear black people, stop recording white people being racist.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Imagine you're living your life, going through it, not a care in the world, and you look across the street and you see someone selling water bottles on the street. Now you think to yourself, I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm a taxpayer, I do not condone this activity, and because I don't like it, I'm going to involve myself in this person's life so that I can impose my way of life on them. And I wouldn't have to do this if this person didn't exist, if they stayed out of my line of sight. Because we all know that people that don't look like us are up to no good. End scenario. If you've ever had this thought, I'm here to give you a preliminary diagnosis. You're probably suffering from I'm fucking racist. But I need you to remain calm as you're listening to this. What I'm about to tell you might very well save your way of life and make you a better person in the process. The treatment process is doable, and a little bit of help, I can get you to a point where you no longer suffer from racist. But before I tell you how to make yourself a better person, let me first tell you how you became this person. Back in the day, gentrification was a thing, segregation was a bigger thing, Jim Crow was the only thing. And since that time, the 1940s and onward, we as a black community have progressed and moved forward. We are trying our best to be part of a system that we didn't belong in the first place. So it's taken us a while to get up to speed, and it's taking white people who have always felt they belonged in a certain spot, in a certain place, a little bit longer to become more comfortable with their new neighbors. You see, when segregation failed, gentrification became a thing. Money was divided and taken and put into different sectors of a community, more predominantly white. White schools are usually better, their parks are cleaner, their grocery stores are fuller, so on and so on. But now we live in a world where the middle class has been shrunk down so tight that it is now smaller than the people stricken by poverty. You see, class doesn't care about race, and that's why when two broke people are stuck looking at each other, they have no choice but to resort to race, because they can't get over the fact that they both are really broke. And this concept might seem strange to you, so I'll use ID Adam as an example. ID Adam lives in an apartment complex. ID Adam is a family man, father, and he has a great job, or he had a great job. ID Adam is supposed to be the ideal man, white man that is, and 40 years ago, he damn well could have been that ideal man. But now in today's society, where the top 1% doesn't care about people's physical features as much as they care about their financial features, it's become very apparent that being broke is no longer a minority thing. It can be a majority thing too. And in today's culture, with the economy and the way that the top 1% grovels over money, it has become commonplace for people who used to be on top to now have to scurry around at the bottom of the barrel looking for crumbs, just like most of us. If we're being real and honest, they still feel like they deserve to be recognized or a little bit better than the person that they are working neck and neck with. And this comes from their privilege. So that is why it's so important for us to be able to pull ourselves out of our own biases when we're working, when we're moving, when we're functioning, when we're living amongst each other. Because if we don't, we accidentally give way for the breeding ground, which is the horrible disease you are now suffering from, called I am racist. starts to show when you are living prominently within your own biases. Your biases start to allow these things to propagate, and before you know it, they're spiraling out of control. But you have to be wondering, what can I do as a black person to help these poor white people suffering from races get out of their current predicament and help push them towards the light?
Hey, listen!
The first thing you can do is an arrangement of steps. The first thing you should do when you are being approached by a random white person suffering from races is stop what you are doing and pull out your phone and start recording this individual. Because in the event that you need to have proof of what happened, you have some type of evidence to prove that this person was being racist, profiling you, or in the act of performing a hate crime, which might get you the ability of winning money from this individual or putting them in a predicament where they can never affect anyone else with their horrible disease. Because we all know racism has been around forever, but some people like to call black people's cards whenever we say this person is being racist. As the great Will Smith once said, racism isn't growing, it's just being recorded. So make sure you do your part to make this person partially famous. The second thing you can do to help combat this horrible disease, ask for personal information from this person. Try and get as much information from them as possible during their racist tirade, because this will make it easier for you to get in contact with their family members, employers, friends, and anyone else who might have the ability to shame them in the event that this person manages to run away and believe that they will be safe because no one knows who they are. The third thing you can do is when they say or threaten to call the police, encourage it, because you know that if police come there, it'll give you the opportunity to write a thorough report while recording the officer's action, and therefore guaranteeing you more eyewitnesses to testify against that individual. The most important thing you can do when you run into an individual suffering from is stay calm, because f***ing racists tend to lose their shit, and when this happens, they try to invoke a sense of rage and anger within you in hopes that you retaliate, making whatever they did somehow non-existent to other people. And when the time comes, you'll be able to take this person down on a social front, and hopefully with these 4 treatment steps, put them in a remission that will have them so ashamed of themselves that they will never go outside again, therefore making the world around them and us a better place. But in the rare moment that you're able to catch someone in the middle of their biases and give them the cure to I am fucking racist, this cure is considered to be highly effective when administered correctly, while it's still being refined and tested to help guarantee that every dose is a lethal dose when it comes to curing I am fucking racist. And this line is mind your motherfucking business is one of the most effective ways of getting someone suffering from I am racist to back off, because it is difficult to live in this world when you're just here, not to speak of being a minority or someone who's been disenfranchised or dehumanized by our local government. People who fail to realize that we're all in this world just trying to make it, and no one is trying to take nothing that they can't already make for themselves, need to indulge themselves in mind your own business. These people need to know that they are wrong for approaching you or trying to make you feel less than or make you feel like you don't belong just because of the color of your skin. These people need to understand that you won't have it, that you won't acknowledge it, that you won't be bothered with it, that you will make them uncomfortable as long as they find having people who don't look like them uncomfortable. It is your responsibility, civic duty, dare I say, God-given ability to cure I am f***ing racist. We all as black people need to stop destroying these poor racist white people's social life and start ruining their personal life with some reality. And there's nothing more real than hitting somebody with mind your motherfucking business. In addition, continue to look after each other. And don't forget, Not all of these white people are bad. I have a bunch of white friends who can go a whole conversation without mentioning the N-word, unlike the owner of Papa John's. In fact, Barbecue Becky was filmed, captured, and questioned by Wilma Better Leave My Black Friend Alone. We have friends in this community and they're all around us. We as a progressive bunch are trying to move forward in this world. And for the random people who have recovered from this disease, I am racist. Welcome back to the real world. I hope your experiences and your ability to acknowledge that you are wrong and that suffering from I am racist didn't make you a better person in any way. I hope some way, somehow you survive the wave of people who will never forget your face as being a racist individual. I hope you receive the cure and these fine treatment steps. With love from an African that likes sushi. Hero. P.S. Racist. Mind your motherfucking business.